What's going on, people? I'm just coming here to say hello. Let me stop Jon Stewart. I'm just watching. Funny. I'll just leave it at that. Tuesday, the 13th of August. Cheers, really. I'm just saying hello to folks who tune in on a regular basis. I hope this video finds you in good spirits. I was actually in when the earthquake hit yesterday in California. I heard immediately from my family. Sounds like it was short but jolting, and glad everyone is okay. But that was interesting, an interesting moment, because they texted me while it was right after it happened, waiting for aftershocks, whatever. So really, just saying hello, hello to you regular viewers who watch for whatever reason. I think primarily music. So I'll show some records and I'll get out of here, okay? What's on my agenda for today? I actually don't know. Could be some work today. Could be some music work today. We'll see. But some records sitting out. I did some pulls and some plays yesterday. Besides watching some... Actually, let me start there. So, I go on Jags. And my latest Jag is watching documentaries mainly on Tubi. And I'm watching now, it came from Aquarius Records out in San Francisco, famous record store. Happy to say that, yes, I have shopped at Aquarius as well as Rather Ripped. I used to actually buy from Rather Ripped Records mail order back in the early days of the end of the 70s, when it was like that was the only way I could get certain things, so I would do it. I watched that. I watched a real good documentary about the jazz saxophonist George Coleman. So many parallels in his story and my life. It was very cool to hear so much about people that I know who are directly connected to my life. George Coleman, as you know, is a giant on the saxophone. I mean, he is one of the best. He really is. In the documentary, they talk a lot about Chicago and the scene and the giants. And one of the people that they really talk up is my uncle. I can say that. He told me to. Johnny Griffin. And Gene Ammons. My dad was friends with him, as I told you. Played with him. He played with Gene Ammons as well. And when I see that stuff, I immediately think about how my dad probably shot himself in the foot. He could have been one of those greats. But I think some of his personal habits got in the way of his business sense. But it was cool to watch that. I'm watching the story of Trojan Records, Rude Boy. I watched one about Sergio Mendes. I wanted to see if it would include anything about the woman that I know from Omaha, Carol Rogers, who was in Sergio Mendes' Brazil 77 for 20 plus years. And she doesn't get a mention. But in the context of everything, you can see how she was just a singer in the band. Not a Lanny Hall, not a featured singer. But it's been cool. So I've been enjoying watching, and Glastonbury, yeah. Finally got to see Upside Down, the story of Creation Records. Love it. Rockfield Studios, the story of that studio where the Stone Roses lived for almost 2 years while they wasted all that money making that bogus second album. It's been enjoyable. And the other thing about watching these documentaries is to see how much of a personal connection I have to this history, even while being from Omaha, Nebraska. It's cool. That's fun. So what did I play? I got through one side of medicine to The Happy Few. Yes, I love good record covers, and I love it when the album matches the art. And sonically, this does. They took a tip from My Bloody Valentine, but they go in their own direction totally. And there's quite a bit of Beatles in the sound here and the songwriting. Brad Lehner is quite good. I was over in the corner here. Actually, I was thinking about pulling one of my records to talk about. In the comments, someone mentioned that they bought Myths and Realities, one of my albums. They bought it digitally. It came out in Greece. So on vinyl in Greece. But anyway, I hadn't played Mew in ages. I have contact with Jonas Bier every few days, if not every day, on Instagram. He's on there all the time, selling his art and showing pictures of what he's doing. I hadn't played this in a long time. And the Glass-Handed Kites. And this album makes a whole lot more sense now. It was very obscure and hard for me to understand what they were doing when it first came out. This is the limited edition, but I must tell you, it is a really bad pressing. Very noisy. It's a disappointment. I have, thankfully, well, of course I have it on CD, but I have another copy on vinyl, black vinyl, which plays much better than this. So this is really just one for the collection, because it was so noisy. I cleaned it, then tried to play it again. This is number 478. I don't know how many. And I took it off. It was like, shit, this is highly disappointing. The other thing that I played all the way through was Merzbow, the noise master from Japan. Merzbow, Frog. This guy is something else. It starts off, this is an interesting vinyl. Isn't that cool? Like a frog. And it starts off and at first it sounds like a frog ribbiting, or, and then you keep listening and it's like, oh no, that's not a frog. And you can almost make out what it is. Like maybe the teeth of a comb being amplified and raked, something like that. And then it goes into his more well-known dirges of sound, but not just a wall of sound. There's things happening in there. While I was listening to it, the word psychedelic popped into my head. We talked about it in the interview on the radio with Sean Sunday. And noise music, when it's real good, is psychedelic, because you're hearing this sound, you don't quite know what it is, but images literally start to appear, not only sonically but visually, for me anyway. So that was fun. Last thing I'll show, I'm not going to talk about the Discus records yet. I haven't listened to them deeply. I want to honor Martin Archer for sending me this music and give it a good listen and help promote it for him. But sitting out from the singles I've been showing, I really like the 7-inch singles group. There's very few people in the group, but as a platform for showing 45s, I like it. I just like it. And the people in the group have wonderful collections. So I showed this one, Le Orme, Jaco de Bimba. I forget who sent this to me. I've had some wonderful things sent to me for my collection. But I want to shout you out, Michael Dawson, Mr. Michael P. Dawson. I look forward to your posts in that group. your collection of singles is very interesting. And I would be interested in seeing a video about where your your selection, your Frank Zappa um, collection in particular looks deep. I have most of his albums, but I don't have any of those old singles, and all these import singles, so like with the picture sleeves that I hardly ever see in Omaha. I'd be curious to find out more about that if you would be interested in sharing. And there's others that are regulars in there that show some cool stuff. I like the group a lot. So that's what's up. It's overcast. It's cool this morning. It's too wet to go out and mow the lawn. It's time to mow the lawn again, but it'll wait. I still haven't gone to the record store. It's like they don't care, but I actually sent a note to Simon Joyner at Grapefruit, explaining I miss him. I miss shopping, but I can't come down there. I can't afford. They don't care, but that's just me. I did the same with Homer's. I said, I look at your used records posts every day out of habit. Thankfully, you're not showing me anything I really want. Okay, that's it. Keep it short today. Hope you're doing okay. Talk to you later.